Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your fascinating source material and really pull out the key insights.
Exactly.
Today, we're looking at this article. I made $7.5 million from a small shop to a big brand, but my parents chose my brother as CEO.
Wow. Yeah, that title alone hooks you.
It really does. What grabbed me right away was that central conflict, building this multi-million-dollar brand
Mm-hmm.
and then just being totally overlooked by your own family for the top job.
It's a story just packed with business insights, but also, those tricky family dynamics, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission, let's say, is to get beyond just the headline. We want to understand Hazel's journey, her drive, what worked, why that decision happened.
And the sting of it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, what lessons are there for anyone about building something, maybe something undeniable?
Exactly. My first thought was just, how do you pour your heart and soul into a business like that? Make it a success.
Yeah.
And then have the rug pulled out from under you. It's intense.
Yeah.
Let's start at the beginning, though. The article talks about her early ambition.
Right. This feeling she had even as a kid, wanting something more than just small town life offered.
And it seems like even back then, working in the family's modest little shop, she saw things differently.
That's interesting. Her parents maybe saw it as, just the family business, keeping things going. But Hazel, doing the sweeping, the cleaning, handling customer.
The everyday stuff.
Exactly. It seems like that sparked something more. A curiosity about the bigger picture, maybe. Not just helping out, but learning how a business actually works.
Right. And it wasn't long before that turned into something deeper. She starts looking into, like, market trends, branding, things her parents weren't focused on.
Yeah, it's a shift from just tidying up to thinking strategically
Mm-hmm.
about the shop's identity, its potential, how it could actually be a brand.
That takes initiative.
Totally. And the fact that she was studying business and marketing after school, she wasn't just dreaming, she was actively getting the knowledge she needed.
You see that dedication. It's one thing to have an idea, quite another to go out and learn how to actually do it, which leads to her actually developing a plan. A concrete plan she presents to her parents.
Can you imagine that conversation? Laying out branding and expansion for their little shop.
Must have taken some guts, real conviction.
It really shows how much she believed in it. And then securing that $20,000 loan? That's not small change for a business like that.
No kidding.
And she uses it effectively. New inventory, revamped store, a proper website, social media. She executed the plan.
And it worked. The article says customers increased rapidly. The shop got noticed.
Yeah, her early strategies were clearly spot on. Validation right there.
Definitely. Within 2 years, it wasn't just ticking over anymore. It was genuinely profitable, exceeding expectations. So you'd think, okay, her path is set.
You would think.
Yeah.
But then enter the brother, Jake.
Ah, yes. Described as the golden child. The one who never really had to try too hard.
Classic dynamic, isn't it? And it shines a light on that challenge in family businesses, parental expectations, maybe some favoritism.
Seems like it. The parents apparently always thought Jake would take over.
Regardless of Hazel's actual success, right? Building the business up while she was leading it.
Yeah, it creates a situation where she feels like she's constantly fighting for recognition, even though the results are there. I mean, $7.5 million in revenue.
That figure really underscores her achievement and makes the parents' decision, well, pretty shocking.
It lands hard. So the big moment comes. They tell Hazel they're appointing Jake as CEO. She calls it a punch to the gut. You just feel that. All that work, all that growth she drove.
And not even really considered, it sounds like.
Exactly. Not the obvious choice to lead what she essentially built from the ground up.
And their reasoning is interesting. They mention Jake's right qualities.
Right. Charismatic, natural leader, good connections, knows how to manage people.
It makes you wonder what they valued more, doesn't it? Those outward-facing traits versus the proven ability to, actually grow the business.
Yeah, what does leadership mean in that context? It seems skewed.
And Hazel's reaction inside. Pure anger, betrayal. Totally understandable.
She built it. Her brother, she says, barely lifted a finger. That resentment just jumps off the page.
It highlights that gap, right, between assumptions, maybe entitlement, and actual demonstrated competence. They valued what they saw in Jake, maybe overlooking Hazel's years of actual results.
Such a stark contrast.
Yeah.
Proven achievement versus perceived potential. But Hazel, she doesn't just roll over. Despite feeling blindsided, she decides, nope, I'm not going quietly.
Good for her. There's real defiance there.
And she confronts Jake. His response, this is for the best for everyone.
Wow. Dismissive.
Totally.
Totally.
Which just seems to cement her resolve.
It's that clash again, isn't it? The person who feels entitled versus the one who earned it. Jake thinks he's the right fit because he's better with people.
Well, completely ignoring her strategic mind and track record.
Exactly. It reinforces her feeling that all her hard work was just invisible to them.
So this is the turning point. She decides, okay, I'll build something even bigger, something they can't ignore.
Now that is a pivot. Channeling that hurt into ambition.
Yeah, instead of just being defeated, she focuses on a new vision, expanding beyond the shop, going online.
That shows real resilience, and it's smart forward thinking. E-commerce was the way forward.
And she goes all in, modernizing the brand again, new products, new marketing, learning everything about digital.
It's like launching a whole second startup.
Pretty much. On top of the first success.
Yeah.
And the article mentions the online sales start growing, slowly but surely. Her new branding gets noticed.
And significantly, she's doing this independently, outside the original family setup.
Right, she's documenting her successes, creating this undeniable proof of what she can do.
It's her way of saying, see, on my own terms.
But the family stuff, it
Ah.
doesn't just disappear, does it?
Rarely does. Her parents are still watching, offering that subtle interference, she calls it, advice.
Oh, I know that kind of advice. Then her mother calls, suggesting she come back and work alongside Jake as CEO.
Ooh, talk about missing the mark after everything.
It feels like they still don't quite get it. Or maybe they can't acknowledge her independent success fully.
That offer probably felt like another slap in the face, really, undermining her autonomy again.
So she refuses, flat out. Says she has her own plans. She's not working for Jake.
A clear boundary. And she doubles down on her own thing. More products, exclusive deals, partnerships, hiring a creative team.
Building her own empire, basically.
Yeah.
And it works. Her brand gets national recognition.
That external validation must have been huge. Growing customer trust, proving her strategy right.
And you sense the motivation shifts slightly, too. It's not just business success anymore. It's about cementing that independence, proving her worth.
Absolutely. That external success feeds internal confidence. It solidifies her path.
And another twist, an unexpected call from her father, offering her a position to lead alongside Jake.
Again, seriously, it suggests maybe they're seeing her success now, but...
But Hazel's reaction is sharp. She's like, are you kidding? Look what I built. On my own.
Completely understandable disbelief. The offer still doesn't address the original hurt, the king being passed over.
Right. So she refuses again, forcefully. Says she doesn't need their help. Marks a real line in the sand.
That takes courage, setting those boundaries, especially with family.
Her father's apparently disappointed. She ends the call. And the article says she felt this sense of freedom, even though it might mean burning a bridge.
That feeling of liberation, it shows how much she values her autonomy now, prioritizing her own path over those old expectations.
But just when you think maybe the conflict is simmering down,
Yeah.
bam, legal letter.
Oh, no, from her father's lawyer.
Yeah. Accusing her of unlawfully taking family intellectual property, designs, branding, customer data.
Wow, that's a huge escalation and a real low blow considering she basically built the original brand identity.
It feels incredibly unjust, right? Her shock comes through loud and clear.
Deeply unsettling. Moving from a family fight to a formal legal battle.
No.
That's serious.
And the advice she gets is to settle. Probably the easier path.
Makes sense. Legally, perhaps. Less costly, less draining, maybe.
But she refuses.
Yeah.
She decides to fight, which shows incredible, well, grit.
It's not just about the business now, is it? It's about defending her integrity, her right to her own work.
Definitely. So she starts strategizing with lawyers, gathering evidence, even reaching out to old colleagues. She's not backing down.
Focused, strategic, taking control of the situation.
And then she does something really bold. She takes her story public.
Ah, the social media campaign.
Exactly. Doesn't get into the lawsuit details, but shares her narrative. Young woman, built a brand, family issues,
Smart move.
Yeah.
Tapping into that public support.
And the response is huge. Massive support online. Her brand visibility explodes. Media picks it up.
She's controlling the narrative now, putting pressure back on the family. That individual versus powerful family story often resonates.
Totally. And it seems to work. Because right before the trial, another call from Dad.
What now?
He admits it. We made a mistake. Says they never wanted to destroy her.
Huh. A change of heart. Possibly fueled by the public reaction.
Could be. He says he was trying to protect the family business, but now he sees she's earned respect.
That's a major concession. Earned respect. Finally acknowledging it.
And Hazel's response, just perfect. She says, "The fight is over because I have already won."
Powerful. So powerful. For her, the victory wasn't the legal case anymore.
Exactly. It was the success she'd already built, independently. Her father quietly accepts, the lawsuit gets dropped.
Wow. What an ending to that conflict.
And she stays independent, leading her own brand, the one she built twice, really.
A definitive win.
Yeah.
On her terms, solidifying her autonomy.
The article wraps up with her reflecting on, the strength she found, the resilience.
You can imagine going through all that.
Her brain keeps growing. She feels she's where she's meant to be. And the real victory, it says, wasn't just the money. It was making her own destiny.
It's such a compelling story. The key takeaways are just so clear, aren't they? That early drive, navigating family business complexities, the pain of being overlooked, but also the power of recognizing individual contributions and just sheer perseverance against the odds. As you listen, you might see parallels, right? Maybe in your own ambitions or seeking recognition or even those tricky family dynamics we all face sometimes.
Absolutely. It resonates because it hits those universal chords.
Yeah.
Ambition, family, wanting to create something that's truly yours.
Yeah.
So maybe the question for you listening is, what kind of empire, big or small, are you trying to build?
Good question.
In your career, your life, whatever it is, and think about what obstacles, internal or external, you might need to tackle to really achieve it in a way that feels right for you.
Yeah. What does your own version of winning look like?
Exactly. Lots to think about there. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.